After a convincing 5-1 road victory in Buffalo on Friday night, the series shifts to Montreal for Game 3. The Bell Center promises to deliver the atmosphere we were all promised in Buffalo, which I honestly viewed as a bit disappointing and underwhelming. Montreal's going to try to look for back-to-back wins for the first time this postseason, and a great way to ensure that result will be to stay out of the box. The Habs have been dominant at 5-on-5 through the first 9 games of the postseason, and they've only really been on the losing side when they've found themselves parading to the box. And I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone who's been liking the videos and subscribing lately. We just hit 3,900 subscribers. We're well on our way to 4,000. Now, Kirk Muller, Captain Kirk himself, carried the torch out to the arena. I got goosebumps from that crowd reaction. Such a great touch to every playoff game for the Montreal Canadiens, and I really love the way they're moving through the decades with this. Once again, no lineup changes for the Canadiens, with Domination and Lyon both getting the start again. Less than a minute in, a horrible giveaway on a failed clearing attempt by Cole Caulfield led to a point shot by Rasmus Dahlin. The shot was deflected wide, but the lively boards at the Bell Center led to a rebound that came out to the other side of the net, and right onto the stick of Tage Thompson, who had been ice cold in the playoffs up to this point. Thompson wasn't going to miss that one, and it's not a good start for the Canadiens and the struggling Cole Caulfield. 1-0 for the Sabres just 53 seconds in. Yikes. The Sabres' sleeping giant appears to have woken up. Now the Canadiens need Caulfield to do the same. The good news for the Habs is they still have a ton of time to work with, but this is a far less than ideal way to kick off Game 3, and the Sabres keep the pressure on, significantly outchancing the Habs early. Montreal then responded with a few looks by the Danault line, followed up by a glorious chance by Nick Suzuki, who was forgotten in front of Lyon. Lyon was just able to get the pad on it, keeping the Habs from an early response. Montreal began to seize control of the game from then on though. Jack-Eye had a bomb on the point that was stopped by Lyon before Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki both had chances in tight on Lyon. After a missed chance by Benson in close on Dobesh, Josh Norris took a penalty for interfering with Nick Suzuki, giving the Habs a chance to tie the game on the power play. The first unit couldn't get much of anything going, but before going off the ice, Lane Hudson fed Alex Newhook with a ton of space. Newhook tried to block her side but was unable to get it by Lyon. The Habs fail on the power play. And aside from that putrid first couple of shifts, I really liked the way the Canadiens were playing. They controlled the majority of play, and once again, just like on Friday night, the Sabres' only looks were coming as a result of the Canadiens' mistakes. Now, after offsetting penalties to Newhook and Doan set the teams to 4-on-4, all of the opportunities belonged to the Canadiens. Suzuki had another chance. Danault tried his luck cranking a slap shot off the rush. Demidov set up Suzuki with a gorgeous little play in close, but Lyon continued to frustrate the Habs. But you sensed something was gonna give if Montreal kept this up. It seemed that every line was getting their chances. Veleno was robbed in close after a bad decision by Lyon. Evans was robbed in the slot, but Alex Newhook picked up the rebound, slid the puck off of a defender, and by Alex Lyon to draw the Habs even. Montreal dominated control of the first period, and after the early mistake had all of the momentum at this point. The crowd erupted. What an environment in Montreal. The Sabres did push hard to answer, hemming the first line in, but the Habs forced them to the exterior and blocked a lot of what they put towards net. Dolbish made the huge saves when he needed to, including a pair on the rush by Josh Norris, and the Canadiens continued to impress. Now, late in the period, there was a scrum in front of Lyon. Bolduc gets taken down on top of Lyon, and I'll be honest, it was a bit of an accidentally on purpose play by Bolduc. But there is no way he should have gotten 4 minutes for that. They give him the extra 2 despite taking multiple sticks to the face, so did Doc, and in my mind that should have at the very least been offsetting minors. Either way, Bolduc's given 4 minutes for roughing, that's mental, but the Canadiens' penalty kill comes up huge in the final minute. Clearing the puck, blocking shots before another scrum at the end of the period. This time Rasmus Dahlin's the one who went overboard, throwing way too many punches. The officials stand back, watch it unfold, and they do end up giving Dahlin the 2 minutes on this one. The teams go into the intermission tied at 1, but in my mind, the Canadiens dominated play in that period and dominated control of the puck. If the Habs can clean up the unforced errors, they'll be just fine. So the Habs start the second at 4-on-4 for 45 seconds, trading a few chances before going on an abbreviated power play with a chance to take the lead early in the period. And I don't know how Cole Caulfield didn't score here. My goodness, a tip play right in the crease that he got a piece of, but he put it back out the other side. Unreal. I cannot believe that one didn't go in. The Habs fail on the man advantage for the second time in this one, and they can't take the early lead. Now, Buffalo's chances continue to come from distance and don't appear very dangerous, while the Canadiens controlled play and had the way better chances. Alex Lyon was much better in this one than he was in Game 2, frustrating the Habs over and over. Dolbish then made his best save of the game 4 minutes in. When Krebs was left with a ton of space, Dolbish came way out and got the tip of the glove on it. Then Cole Caulfield contributed off the score sheet, drawing a penalty on Josh Doan for tripping in the Canadiens' end. Montreal's third look on the power play. They've got to bury one soon, and this power play, oh my goodness. Chances everywhere. It was a shooting gallery. Caulfield and Demidov both missed Deschamps on off. Demidov and Suzuki put shots on net. Slafkovsky missed a tip in front. Hudson shot one wide, but the Habs dominated control of the puck in the zone, and finally, on an incredible play by Lane Hudson to walk the defender without a stick, and then as if he had eyes in the back of the head, swing the puck back through the crease to Cole Caulfield, who finally manages to put one in the net, getting the monkey off of his back and scoring his second goal of the playoffs. It was a truly remarkable play by Lane Hudson and a quintessential display of what makes him so special on the ice. Montreal takes the lead for the first time in the game after dominating play. A minute later, it looks like the Canadiens go up 3-1. Josh Anderson pushes a puck on net from in close. The puck squeaks through Lyon as the nose taken down by Thompson. Then Garrett Rank, everyone's favorite clown, immediately calls it no goal. Typical BS officiating from the NHL's worst official. I don't know how this bozo keeps getting assigned to Habs games. The goal doesn't count, the Habs don't challenge, and the lead stays at 1. Josh Doan and the Sabres push back, with Dolbish making some more big saves, and how big those saves on Doan were. When Joel Veleno wins a race to a loose puck in the Sabres zone, he waits patiently, and finds Zachary Bolduc catching up to the play. Zachary Bolduc wires a shooter's shot by Alex Lyon and into the net, doubling the Habs lead to 2, sending the Bell Center into an absolute frenzy. A terrific goal for Bolduc, and Montreal is outclassing Buffalo all over the ice in this one, just like in Game 2. Keep this level of play up, the Sabres won't have a chance of beating you, and this one will be done in 5. The Sabres then resort to more fake tough guy antics. Malenstein runs over Jakub Dolbish. It was egregious, and that absolutely should have been a major penalty. I have no idea how that wasn't 5. A clear run at the goaltender, no attempt to avoid it. The officials end up giving the Sabres an extra 2 minutes, but that was definitely not enough in my mind. Good on Zachary Bolduc for absolutely feeding it to Malenstein, and the Habs go to the power play. Now, the best way to get revenge on the Sabres, score here. And that is exactly what the Canadiens do. A Lane Hudson wrist shot from the blue line is deflected on target by Juraj Slafkovsky by Alex Lyon, putting the Habs up 4-1 and in complete control of the game. Just like Caulfield got the monkey off his back, Slafkovsky scores for the first time since his Game 1 hat-trick. A 4-1 advantage for the Canadiens, who are just pulverizing the Sabres at this point. And I didn't think it was possible for the crowd to get even crazier, but they did. Now, not one to keep himself from being the center of attention for longer than 5 minutes, Garrett Rank called Kirby Dach for holding the stick, gave Buffalo a chance on the power play, where Rasmus Dahlin found an opening from the blue line. Jakub Dolbish did not see a thing, and the puck sailed into the open net. The Sabres cut the deficit to 4-2 with 5 minutes to go in the second period. This one's definitely not over, but the Habs are still in a dominant position. Avoid the mistakes and you'll be just fine. You know that the Sabres are going to go all out to get back in this one. Just be patient and hammer them on the counter-attack. Dolbish and Lyon traded a few saves after the second Buffalo goal before Alex Tuch got called for a high stick on Juraj Slafkovsky. The Habs, 2 for 4 on the power play so far, get a chance in the final 2 minutes to restore their 4-goal advantage. And on that power play, the Harlem Globetrotters made another appearance for the Habs. A full minute of lethal chances, including one absolute rocket by Ivan Demidov that hit the post, so hard, I half expected the puck to break in half. The Habs do fail to score on the man advantage, but what a period, what a first 40 minutes by the Canadiens, who go into the intermission up 4-2. So they head into the third period, and it starts off well. They maintain the offensive pressure, and they're pushing to restore their 3-goal lead. As Slavkovsky put one off the post early, then Lane Hudson ended up getting called for a questionable interference penalty, sending the Sabres to the power play for the third time. And this was by far the best the Sabres had looked with the man advantage in this one, holding the puck in the Canadian zone for the full 2 minutes and just peppering Jakub Dobeš, who made a few miraculous stops. It was total chaos in front of the Habs net, with the puck even rolling along the goal line at one point before bouncing off of Dobeš and just wide. Somehow the puck stayed out, and perhaps it was the hockey gods watching out for the Canadiens to make up for how horrendous of an official Garrett Rank is. There were probably a half dozen chances on the Sabres power play that were kept out, and the pressure continued after the power play ended as well. Buffalo poured the pressure on for about 4 consecutive minutes, with Zach Benson and Tage Thompson getting robbed by Jakub Dobeš. The Habs bided their time. They waited for their chance to strike on the counterattack, and they did just that. Alexandre Texier unleashed a bomb of a one-timer off a pass from Philippe Danault. The shot went off the post, but the rebound came out right in front of Kirby Dach. He slid it by Lyon and gave the Canadiens that little bit of breathing room, restoring the 3-goal lead and effectively ending the Sabres' chances of a comeback. Outside of a few small portions of this game that lasted a handful of minutes at a time, the Habs really dominated control of the play for the vast majority of this one. The Habs went on to lock things down for the final 10 minutes. Buffalo got a chance on a power play with around 8 minutes to go. They ended up pulling the goalie with about 6 minutes left, but they couldn't solve Dobeš, who made it a 6th consecutive game with no goals against in the third period. 58 consecutive saves. Now with the empty net, Alex Newhook got in behind the defense. Rasmus Dahlin had no choice but to hook and slash at him, causing him to miss the open net, but being awarded the goal regardless, and putting the Montreal Canadiens ahead 6-2, another 4-goal lead in this series, and Habs fans begin serenading the Buffalo Sabres out of the building in the final minutes. Montreal once again puts an exclamation point on a victory in this series, a 6-2 curb stomping of the Buffalo Sabres, heading into a huge Game 4. Now, for the first time in this postseason, the Canadiens win consecutive games, and they'll look to make it 3 in a row on Tuesday night in Montreal. They overcome an early mistake in the first period. They didn't let that bad start get to them. They went to work absolutely dummying the Sabres for a second game in a row, and I don't know how the Sabres can answer back at this point. They're already on their backup goalie. Lyon has played great in these last 2 losses and is the only reason the margin of victory wasn't greater in both games. Luukkonen is just not it. He's been terrible lately. I don't know what the Sabres are going to do. They don't have any reinforcements coming. It has to come from within for them. If the Canadiens keep playing this way, Buffalo doesn't have a chance. This is going to be over in 5. I, for one, am hoping for another convincing victory on Tuesday night and to see the Habs put the series away in Buffalo on Thursday. Anyway, you guys, that's going to be it for me. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section down below. If you made it to the end of the video, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe. We're looking to hit 4,000 subscribers real soon. And have a great night, guys. Yeah!